Welcome back to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So sorry I had to abruptly leave. Um Now that that work is taken care of, I had already pulled some cards. I was able to get through 3 of them, and then I had to go, and then now I'm back. So let's go over those 3 again. Whatever it is that is trying to challenge you, right? These 3 cards are for that. It is for them. Now, the conversation today is about how it's go time. Like, it's go time. It is go time, right? And because it's go time, well, the reason it's go time is that all of this spiritual warfare that's been happening on an energetic level, on a non-human plane, 3D level, it's now hitting this plane of existence. Okay. And that simply just means that those of us who have a very elevated type of purpose, they're gunning for y'all. They're gunning for all of us. And honestly, they've been gunning for me for a while. And um, I really don't give a fuck. I don't. Today just feels so productive. Let me tell you. Also, I'm hormonal, so I'm very emo. I'm very emo. So, I was talking in the last live stream about like coming to a realization last night that, an entire lifetime of just really thinking every other eye except my own is beautiful. It just kind of last night was like, but I think my eyes are like my most beautiful feature, like this otherworldly quality to them. I've never described my eyes like that before. I've always, for as long as I can remember, um, it's gonna sound crazy. I've always described them as slanted shit brown eyes. I'm serious. I've always described my eyes as slanted shit brown eyes. And if you're asking me during a time when I'm very, very lean, it's gonna be like big ass alien eyes. And, you know, all of a sudden last night something shifted and it was like, I think that's one of my most beautiful, most powerful qualities of my identity as I present it to the world. During this period, the most beautiful, most powerful part of you is really what's going to be focused on to try and get you to reject, to push away your power. There's beauty in your power. Power is not just for domination, right? Power is definitely not just for domination. Now, there was a notification that came in that, yep, losing control, panic. So the email says Democrats, but I don't know why I'm reading it. I'm reading the word Democrats as demons. Maybe it's because it starts with DEMO, right? DEMO. So I'm going to read it in the way that my eyes see it. Losing control, demons and panic over unscripted, unscripted. I don't know what it cuts off. Maybe they need you to be scripted. Maybe they need you to adhere to the specific protocol, the specific this, the specific that, so that you can be predictable. There was an attempt to cyberbully me very recently. And like, all of this, like, oh, you're going to flood the comments with, all these different comments. I'm not fucking getting off the live stream. How about that? And I'm going to be fucking confrontational. I'm going to be combative as fuck. And I'm not going to have any shame. And one of the most powerful things that came out of my mouth in a long time was simply stating in a passionate way, because I'm a passionate speaker, simply stating, if you're going to talk about me, talk about the whole me, the entirety of me. Don't talk about one aspect, one thing, one little detail. Talk about the entirety of me. I've been so fucking publicly documented for the last 7 fucking years of my life. Talk about the entire me. The entire me. And that felt powerful to me because I look at my life and it's like, there's absolutely nothing to be ashamed of or embarrassed about. As a matter of fact, I think we as empaths, we tend to hide how much we actually do for other people. We tend to hide how benevolent we are towards others. We're often energetic benefactors, giving and giving and giving and giving and giving silently in the shadows. And the moment these demonic ass motherfuckers think they have a little bit of foothold to launch an attack, to go for your jugular, ooh, they go for it. Yeah, fucking chihuahuas. Fucking chihuahuas. The jealousy is real. You don't even know what people are jealous about for you. Why are they jealous of me? Because you're beautiful. It's true. Because in a world full of scams and fakes and liars, even at your lowest, you shine so bright. You shine in a way that blinds the demons. Even as an ember, you still blind them. And when someone tries to challenge your perception of yourself, what do? You stand there defiant as fuck. Do not back down. As long as you know the life you've lived, the integrity you've held. You know, people love to target me about certain things, especially my work, because the reality is, and I say often, like, anyone can do this. No, that's my heart's wish. To the degree that I do, at the level that I operate, no. No. No, they can't. No, they can't. This is another layer of learning that we as individuals and as a community, we have to stop playing small. It gives room for the brazenly bold demons to think they can insert themselves. Let me tell you, for the things that happened yesterday, if I'm so fake, why do you use me as a benchmark to describe how powerful you are? If I am just a mediocre morphogenetic recalibrator, why do you use me as the benchmark? You say everything about me is a red flag, yet why do you have to have a live stream to announce that you can do what I do for cheaper? I will never lower my prices. That 30% off, 33% off, that's on all my websites to accommodate the loss of wages people have suffered through since COVID happened. That's not a loss of value for the work I do. You do it for cheaper because you're worth less. And if you can do what I do, produce the medical documentation that proves your claim. Produce it. Because should I ever want to prove the actual validity of what I say, oh, I have many, 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 many things that I can produce. And people will try and waste your time. Prove it. No, fuck you. Find it yourself. Dig for it. My whole life is on the internet for the last 7 years. Find it your fucking self. You want to look for evidence of me lying? Work for it. Earn it. All you'll find is evidence of my validity, my potency, and my power. Y'all, I'm standing as a testament to the power of our community. I said it last night. I'll say it here. Don't fucking back down. I will shield you. I will shield you. Do not back down. Do not back down. Believe it. When you get this inkling that you have a snake in your midst, believe it. I knew you were a motherfucking snake. I knew you were a motherfucking snake. See, some people get so accustomed, so fucking accustomed to using their illness to go ahead and, I don't know, weasel their way into circles. Pity me, pity me. They try and plot and plan behind your back. Only reason you're mad is because you got booted before you could implement a plan. Funny thing is, you didn't even get booted yet. A guilty conscience causes one to assume what the outcome will be. Which leads me to the next part. Part of the reason why I've been so emo since last night. This profound depth of realization. I often don't know why my soul tells me to do the things that it does. I don't know. Oftentimes it's this thing of, isn't that heavy-handed? I mean, isn't that too much? Just do it. And I do. All you got to do is listen to your soul. It wants to protect you through this period. This is going to be a really poppin' period. It just is. It's going to be a period of major, massive correction and assertion of yourself in a space you belong in, a space that motherfucking demons have defiled in your absence. Scoot on over, bitches. The Empress is back. The Empress is back. It's time for you. Time for you to step into your rightful place. These people who are trying to launch some type of attempt to derail you, to destroy you, destabilize you, whatever it is, they are not protected in this action. They will not have a guardian to keep them safe. Their own shadows got them upside down in their perception of what they think they should and should not do and what they can get away with. Or maybe their bitch asses have gotten away with so much, they think they can get away with it with you. Everything is documented, you fucking idiot. Everything. 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 And guys, here's the thing. If I have to abruptly go again, that's a second set of lawyers, okay? I will fight for myself. I will fucking fight for myself. Not just to defend myself, but to keep my name intact. There will be consequences. Very specific consequences. And I tell you this, I look back at my life and see how many people have tried to come and destroy me. Not a single one was successful. As a matter of fact, there is absolutely something that was destroyed. Their own path. Had nothing to do with it either. Just carried right on with my life. I'm absolutely carry on with my life here. This is going to be addressed. This is absolutely going to be addressed. I'm worth the fucking price that is paid. Finally seeing my value. Finally understanding. And it's a perfect time for you to understand as well, because you know why? You need to know what you're fighting for. I'm not just fighting for me, I'm fighting for what I stand for, what I'm here to do. And let me tell you, most people would see a bully of a bitch just because, what, you got some following? It's not even that significant. You think I'd be afraid or intimidated? Just know, the more you talk of me, the more people will know about me. What some do for darkness, my royal parentage allows for the progression of me. Ain't that some shit? You are offering me on a silver platter the next step. You know what the next step is? My foot on your face. Like you're irrelevant, because you are. Yes. People will be scared of how deeply you can look into their soul. They will be so afraid of how deeply you can look into their soul. I see all the way through. I see all the way through. Do you guys ever get scared of how my eyes on live streams often makes you feel like I'm in the space with you and we're looking at each other and I'm talking directly to you? Do you guys ever feel that? You guys ever feel that? Because I've heard people tell me that over the years. And I've just been like, oh, really? You feel all of that? I'm just talking to a green dot on the screen. I'm just looking at a green dot. You feel all of that? And they don't say it like they're afraid. They say it exactly, Genevieve. They say it like they're comforted by it. Like they finally feel seen in a world that's blind to their beauty. They finally feel seen, acknowledged. Now it makes me wonder. Why do some people who I've never interacted with, why do they get scared? I can understand why it would make someone feel intimidated at first, right? like intimidated, like, whoa, direct eye contact. What's going on here? How is this happening? How is this happening? I'm telling you, I'm just looking at a green dot on the screen. How is it happening? It's because your soul is aware that my soul can see all the way through, and you're not accustomed. And maybe there's things you feel like you might be ashamed if I knew, but you quickly begin to realize there's nothing about you I would ever ask you to feel ashamed for, unless if, of course, you're a demon Horita, at which point, yes, fucking be ashamed. Ew. 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 Yuck. You have the ickies, right? And I'm not tripping. I'm not tripping about anything that's sad, because why? Sometimes people don't realize that I learned real well the last time people tried to cyberbully me. I learned real well. In the time I spent silent, I did a lot of researching. I never put it into action, but I learned a lot about how it all works, how to correct it the next time, because I will never allow myself to experience that again. Not out of fear, but because I finally understand I never deserved that in the first place. Our community is formidable. We are a beacon in a dark world. Our community is formidable. And these motherfuckers think that if they take me down, take me out, silence me, that all of you will scatter in the wind. Yeah, maybe if you're just followers, you go and find the next person to follow. Yeah, probably. Except y'all are not my followers. You're my community. You're my equals. You need to start standing strong. Even if you don't believe in yourself, you need to start standing strong. These people, these things that are so passionate about what the fuck they're trying to do, they're upside down in their passion. The only thing that burns when the candle is put vertically in reverse is the candle and the one holding it. Use your fucking noodles, not you guys. The demon Horitas. The demon Horitas. Oh, I found myself a junior Kayla. You're right. Michael just said you found yourself a junior Kayla. You're right. Except I'm not the same Emmy. I'm just not. You ever notice how you guys have changed since sharing space with me? You guys have you guys noticed that? Have you guys noticed the way you see the world, the way you flow in your world, the way you receive other people's subpar treatment? It's different. You're not willing to accept that. You're not willing to just take it. Good. More of that. More of that. Less of trying to be quiet and not make waves. More of you existing as a component of the tsunami that our community is. They want to stand in the way. That's fine. Have you ever seen a man try and stop a tsunami? Have you ever seen a group of people try and stop a tsunami? That's funny. Not only will you get crushed, you'll get sucked out into the ocean, cleansing the land of your filth. We are that tsunami. We are absolutely that tsunami. So what needs to happen now? You need to step into your power, because what happens next is not something you initiated, but it's absolutely something that brings home what? There's a homecoming taking place. What does it bring home to you? The fulfillment of the refillment of your cup. Your power is coming back. This is not going to apply to everyone. It's definitely not going to apply to the demon whores. They're going to be jealous. They're going to be very jealous. And when you see them begin to act out because they're jealous of you, they're jealous of what they're seeing, they're jealous of their awareness of how fucking magnanimous you are. I said magnanimous. Yeah. I feel like the advice from this card is to lovingly chuck them into the incinerator. They will be chucked into the void. Just chuck them. Oh, you're fucking crazy. What was the title yesterday? What was the title of yesterday's reading? Hold on. This guy is trying to compound and compound and compound. I was about to say, let me come up for air. He's like, you don't have to come up for air. Where is it? Everything will happen so quickly for you. That's why. It's like riding the wave, right? You're riding the wave. It's this visual of being on your surfboard, and I don't surf, so I don't know. I'm being shown this. And it's this just understanding that you keep paddling towards the wave, and eventually another wave will come behind you. And it's actually the wave behind you that you're positioning yourself for. You're not trying to catch the wave that's already in front of you, the one that's already past you. No, you're trying to position yourself so that you could perfectly ride the wave that's going to lift you so high. So, so, so high. You need to get creative and you need to get curious. You need to find other ways to do what you've done in the past. You're going to do what you did in the past, but you're going to do it in a different way so you get a different outcome. Get curious. Get creative. Allow yourself to get to a space where you understand your curiosity and your creativity is actually what's going to bolster your alchemical abilities. You're going to change into something. You're going to change into something, and it's going to turn the foundations upside down. You're going to change into something so profound. It's something the Magi have been afraid of. Let's see. What does that mean? All right. Here you go with your secondary messaging. I know it's a magical person. Magi, a member of priestly caste of ancient Persia, a sorcerer. It's relating to magic. Hold on. He's saying it's literal. That's a lot. That's a lot. Examples of magus in a sentence. Magi is multiple. Magus is singular. Attributed the storms to clash of wills between two most powerful magi in the land. This is a lot. So, what Michael is telling me, the progression of the message, there's ancient literature heralding the return of you. And I'm just repeating what he's saying. I don't know how this applies to everyone. It's already been foretold an empire will return. The locksmith has sat already before the gates of the empire, and the keys are being cut. The tumblers will tumble. And the primary gate will be open for the first time in a long time. The process we're in now is a process to accrue the energy to bring all the people back home. It is an unfurling back to love. And the thing about love, humans, they make it seem as though love is something that's soft. Love is something that is enabling and toxic. It's something that's supposed to hurt, something that's supposed to destroy you. Except that's never really been love in the first place. Love is something that's liberating. Love is supposed to be something that's empowering. What I would not do for the people that I love. To receive love from me to that degree, there is nothing I would not do. There is absolutely nothing that I would not do. sometimes in the field of energy, there is an exchange that must take place. I never shared it. During that time that I helped my sibling through his heart failure, he ran out of time. He took a little too long to come to the realizations he needed to come to. And I respected his process. It was a very difficult one. And at one point, he was rushed to the hospital again. And this time, I knew there was a high likelihood he would die that day. Within 45 minutes, I was on an airplane, rushing to California. Not to stop him from dying, but to be there with my son when he needs someone there with him the most. And when I got on that plane, he was so close to dead. His blood pressure bottomed out in the ER. Something like 40 something over 40 something. They couldn't even really detect a pulse. And something happened right at the last minute. According to him, he saw our mother who just passed. And she said to him, "You have to decide." He made a decision. And immediately as my airplane was taking off, everything began to shake really bad, like bad turbulence. And I was told I needed to work on him. His body was so weak. I never told him. I gifted him years of life from my own. To give him time to heal. It was a choice I willingly made. I shortened my lifespan to lengthen his, with no guarantee that he would overcome heart failure. So if demonic things think that there are limits in the way that I love, that I would be able to be separated from the things and the people that I love, you have no idea of how tenacious I am, how formidable I am, and how fearless I can be as I move with love. Do I regret that? No. I'm destined to live an extremely long life. I will finish what I need to do. And I will continue to live for a very long time. I know that. A couple of years is nothing in my eyes. Will I do that for just anyone? No. Did I do that just because it's my sibling? No. Because in a world where the light is dying and everything has become so dark, you take your candle and you light the sacred candle beside you. When you know in your heart the person beside you can bring more light into this world, there's some decisions that need to be made. We are not alone in this journey. We are not alone in this journey. What happens to one of us happens to all of us. They've polarized humanity at this point. There are those who live by a code of honor and those who exist to simply taint that code and infiltrate. Do you need to make a decision? Are you going to stand or are you going to crumble? Look. Feathered and furred friends. It came in sideways. You haven't decided yet. Real love is something that gives you the type of courage that you become fearless, even if it's only temporary. That fearlessness will continue until you no longer need it. There's nothing our community needs to be afraid of. Demonic shit is about to pop off very seriously. All of these earthquakes, did I not tell you several months ago, beginning of April to be exact, the earthquakes will continue to increase in frequency, increase in potency. The others who are like me, they're waking up too. Their templates are going online. It's go time. This is just the first part. Whatever happens here, the seamless unspeakable is being released. The seamless unspeakable. It's pumping this planetary grid with a type of life force energy that has not been allowed to run through the veins of Gaia since the human children were born. There's a purging of her veins. There's a clearing, there's a cleansing. Mm. They're fucked. Michael just said, the first to arrive will be your sisters. Have you ever wondered why the Valkyrie are all female? Have you ever wondered why, when a parent is extremely protective of their child. They use the term mama bear. As nurturing as the female, the feminine is supposed to be. A feminine in her totality is capable of the exact degree of destruction as she is nurturing and creation. The sisters will be the first to arrive. Crown chakra, the unlimited self. It's in reverse. Those that oppose their arrival, their crown chakras will be closed. And people can say whatever they want about I'm peddling fear. If you oppose what is coming and the correction, you should absolutely be afraid. It will no longer be stopped. It will no longer be slowed down. You should absolutely be afraid. If you've done nothing to choose a different path, you can kindly shut your face. I'm tired of living in the delusion that we are told to live in, where you keep your head down, you keep your mouth closed, you don't speak truth, you don't let people have an opportunity to be aware so they can prepare. Instead, the appropriate thing is to stay silent so they can be sideswiped, so they can be T-boned by life. No. No. Absolutely not. You don't want to prepare, that's on you. But for the people who are willing, the people who are ready to take their full power and make their preparations, prepare themselves mentally, prepare themselves physically, prepare their environments so they can be in peace as everything else crumbles. I was given a promise a very long time ago. I will not be involved in any of the things that I did not choose. I will not renegotiate that promise. I expect it. I absolutely expect it. I will not allow myself to be involved in things I did not choose. I will simply continue to prepare with my community, prepare in a space of stillness and quiet. For a very long time, people have asked me what I've seen about future events I never really wanted to speak into any public forum because I didn't want it to be solidified. I've always ever seen me and my community enjoying ourselves in a wilderness, secluded, in peace, as the rest of the world burns itself down. If that is what you choose, go right ahead. I don't choose that. I will not experience that. I will be long gone before any of that happens. Every promise soul has made me, soul has always come through. Every protection I have been promised has always been delivered in perfect time and measure. Now is the time to free the people to choose for themselves what they want to experience and how they want to experience it. Realm Bridger. Bridging realms. Serving as the space between the gaps. That's what most of our community is here to do, to bridge the gap. Realm bridgers. That's why in your environment, most people do not understand you. Most people do not get you. You are so pushed to the edge all the time, to the edge of silence, to the edge of blindness. You're not allowed to see the things that people do. You can't bear to see it anymore. You can't stop it either. So you kind of just put your blinders on. You let people talk to you and treat you however way they choose because you feel like you can take more. Why should you keep taking more? Because a weak person feels like you should? Fuck them. I'm absolutely in a space where I embrace in totality my Capricorn energy. Fuck them. Do what you need to do. Allow yourself to come to the realizations you need to come to about yourself and your connections. People that maybe you avoided maybe need to be allowed back in. And people that you held on to and are afraid to lose maybe are the most toxic pieces of shit you've ever come across in your life. And you've been poisoning yourself this entire time and you've known it. Make a decision. I don't know what your decision should be. It's a decision that is only in your hands. Only you can decide these things. Only you. Okay. You can choose to be the dominant consciousness in the space you occupy. And in that, really choosing peace, really choosing yourself, that stillness, that clarity that is gifted to you through stillness. Watching you do that, it's my fucking Lord.